I will ask you a few questions that most of our students ask during the whole process, and we receive a lot of inquiries. So, how many nationalities or how many international students are currently studying at Leeds?
Sure. So Leeds is a big university. We have 38,000 students at the moment, and 9,000 of our students, are international. So that's about a quarter of the student population. They come from over 170 different countries, so from all over the world, literally. And about 150 of our students currently are from Latin America. So they're quite a nice little community within the university. So it's a very diverse student environment.
So where is Leeds located in England?
Yeah, so we're in the north of England, where people tend to be friendlier. That's what they say. So I'm biased because that's where I'm from. And we're about 2 hours from London by train and about 1 hour from Manchester. So we're quite a good base to explore the rest of the country. And we've got an airport in the city, Leeds Bradford Airport, and then there's Manchester Airport, which is about an hour away. So students can access Leeds quite easily, and they can explore Europe from Leeds. So it's a good place in sort of the middle of the country. And the region that we're in is called Yorkshire. So Yorkshire has some really outstanding areas of natural beauty, like national parks. So on the weekends, lots of our students go out and do hiking and other like outdoor activities, because those really beautiful spaces are very accessible from the city.
The University of Leeds is part of the Russel group. Could you explain to students what does it mean to be part of the Russel group and all of that?
Yeah, I think we throw this term Russel group around a lot. The Russel group in the UK is a group of 24 prestigious institutions who are research intensive. So that means that we are producing high quality research that has a really big impact. This is important for students, I think, for two reasons. So firstly, Russel Group universities will base their teaching on their research. So that means that our programs, our master's programs, PhD programs and undergraduate programs are designed based on the research that we're conducting. And often students can actually engage in that research themselves, especially if they're a master's or a PhD student. They've got the opportunity to contribute to that research. Secondly, it often means that the universities have a very high quality of research facilities and teaching facilities because of the amount of investment into our facilities. So it makes for a really high quality student experience. So this group includes universities like Oxford and Cambridge, some of the London universities, and then Manchester, Leeds, and lots of others as well. It's kind of similar to an Ivy League in the US, if students want to think about it in those terms, but it basically means high quality and research-led investigation.
Will you be able to mention which one is the most robust faculty or the most awarded faculty at the University of Leeds?
It's difficult. So we're a big university, so we offer like most programs. We have over 200 different master's programs. So the offering at Leeds is really broad. We have lots of strengths across lots of different areas, but some that I would highlight. So 7 faculties in total. Our business school is really strong. So they offer programs in accounting and finance, marketing, management, international business, economics, and human resource management. Our business school is triple accredited. So when students are looking for a business school, it's a good idea to look for one that's accredited by AACSB, AMBER and EQUIS, and that's a really good indication of quality, and our business school is triple accredited, and there's a very small number of schools across the world that have that triple accreditation, so that's definitely a really strong area. Engineering is really strong at Leeds, so we have 5 engineering schools here. 4 of them are in the top 10 in the UK, and together they make up one of the largest research groups of engineers in the country. So that's something that Leeds is really well known for within the UK. And there's a lot of interdisciplinary research in that subject as well. So students can combine different types of engineering in their research projects. And there's a lot of combinations there. And then one other thing that I'd say we're quite popular with, so it's a smaller subject, but it's particularly interesting for students from Latin America, is transport studies. So Leeds has the Institute for Transport Studies, and we're actually 15th in the world. So we're number 15 in the world for transport studies. So we're really specialist in that area. So we've got amazing facilities like simulators, and we've got really interesting programs like transport economics and transport planning. So that's like maybe a slightly more niche area, a little bit more specific, but I do get a lot of queries from students in countries like Peru and Colombia interested in transport studies. So that's definitely one to have a look at as well.
So is there an age limit to apply for a postgrad student at Leeds?
No, so we don't have any formal age limits. A lot of our master's programs can be taken as either a pre-experienced master's, so straight out of undergraduate degree, or they can be taken later. Some of them have a specific work experience requirement, which normally means the students are typically a little bit older. So an MBA is a really good example of that. Students tend to be a little bit older, in their sort of 30s or 40s. But for most of our programs, you don't require any work experience, and there's no formal age limit to apply. We have students every year from all ages studying a master's, and it's actually a nice thing about the programs is that you'll be studying alongside students from different countries, of different ages, different professional backgrounds, and that's a strength of the courses, I would say.
When is the best time to apply at Leeds, or when is the deadline for a postgrad for a master program?
So for master's specifically, the courses start in September each year. So we only have one intake at Leeds. Some UK universities have more than one. Our master's programs start in September, and they're all one-year master's programs, so 12 months. That means that applications open almost 1 year before, so October before. So actually, applications just opened for next year, September 2022. My advice is always to apply as early as possible, especially if you want to apply for scholarships, because sometimes you need the offer to apply for the scholarship. So it's about giving yourself as much time as possible. So the final deadline for a lot of our programs is the 30th of June, so the end of June. But if you leave it until the 30th of June, it will be quite difficult to apply for accommodation, to apply for your visa, and to apply for funding if you need to do that. So my advice is up to a year in advance and as early as possible. So if you're attending events like this now, then you're in a really good position because you're already starting to do that research into the universities and the programs, starting to connect with people like Studies Planet who can help you with the process, to then start working on your application as soon as possible.
So you mentioned something about the scholarships. Does the University of Leeds has any scholarship for postgrad students, or any agreement with any particular scholarship from any country in Latin America?
Yeah, for sure. So the university, we do offer scholarships for master's study. This depends on the subject area and the particular programme. So they range from £2,000 right up to full fee scholarships. We do offer some full fee scholarships as well. So again, that's about applying early to the programme, because often you can only apply for our scholarships after you've received an offer from us. So get the application in as early as possible, and they're all advertised on the course web pages. In terms of agreements with funding bodies in Latin America, we have agreements with CONACYT, FUNED and FIDER in Mexico to offer fee discounts to students. We have an agreement with Colfuturo in Colombia, where we offer a 20% fee discount to all students. Plus, we select one student each year to give a 50% fee discount to, so that's a really big discount on the tuition fee. We also receive students funded by PRONAVEC in Peru each year. We normally have 1 or 2 students come in who have that scholarship. And when it's running, we do have an agreement with ANID in Chile as well, which unfortunately didn't run last year, but we do have that agreement in place. So lots of different funding available. We also receive students funded by Chevening scholarships each year. So there's a big range, and again, it's about doing your research. And my advice for students looking to for funding is always to have a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C. So apply to all the different types of funding that you can. Explore loans as well. So like ICETEX in Colombia offer a loan or bank loan options. And then see when it comes what the best funding package is for you. So often you can combine different sources. Students often combine, for example, a University of Leeds scholarship with some external funding, and that's often possible. So it's about starting early and exploring all the possible options for funding.
So now that the post-study work visa, that the graduate route has gone back in a way and it's possible, does the University of Leeds help the student to get into career, like to find jobs and things like that?
For sure. So yeah, the graduate visa, the graduate route is a really exciting opportunity for international students. So just in case the audience aren't aware, this is a new visa that's been introduced in the UK from this year, and it allows you to stay in the UK for 2 years, up to 2 years after completing a master's, or up to 3 years if you've completed a PhD, staying in the UK, and you can do any type of work during those 2 or 3 years. So it's a really great opportunity. Previously, you had to have a very specific type of job with a certain salary to apply for a working visa in the UK. This gives students much more flexibility. And if you leave Leeds, you'll be in a really strong position to look for those graduate jobs. So Leeds is one of the top 5 most targeted UK universities by graduate recruiters, and that's because of the career support that we provide. So we have a really excellent careers centre who organise lots of events throughout the year. They have a global careers month, so they're supporting international students specifically as well. And they can also offer one-to-one guidance like CV reviews or careers counselling appointments or interview practice. As well as that, you'll find a lot of professional skills modules on the programs. So for example, if you're studying a business program, there's a really big focus on developing your skills as a professional. So you will have a class on how to develop your professional skills. And a lot of our faculties have specific support as well. So they'll provide extra support for their students with people who really know that industry. So it's something that we've worked really hard on as a university. We know that the job market is competitive. So we try to make sure that our students leave with the skills that they need to be really successful in the workplace. My top tip for students who want to find a job in the UK, be really proactive. So as soon as you get to the UK and you start your master's program in September, start looking then. So look for part-time jobs and internships that you can do at the same time as your studies. You can work up to 20 hours a week part-time during your studies. Try and do that. Start talking to the careers centre, talk to your personal tutor, so you'll have a personal tutor on the course, and start looking for those opportunities from the beginning of the master's. A master's in the UK is 1 year, it's not a lot of time, so you've got to really make the most of that time, and those students are the ones that I see that tend to stay in the UK. So for example, we had a master's student from Mexico this year, and she had a really good attitude. She was one of our student ambassadors, and she's now secured a job in marketing in the UK. So it's that type of profile that tends to do well.
Hola Benjamín, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo vas?
¿Qué tal? Mucho gusto.
Ya que estás estudiando en la Universidad de Leeds, me gustaría si nos puedes compartir, por favor, acerca de tu experiencia.
Sí, claro. Justo llegué a Leeds hace un par de semanas y han habido varios eventos que la universidad ha hecho para que justo los freshers o los nuevos alumnos se conozcan. Eso me gustó bastante. Ahí justo como dice Megan, se ve bastante variedad cultural de alumnos de diversos países de todo el mundo. Eso también me gustó bastante. También los clubs y societies, como le dicen, donde de diversos temas hay grupos de estudiantes, ¿no? Y tú puedes pasar el rato, hay eventos, y ahí puedes conocer también gente. Aparte, ya por un lado personal, la arquitectura de los edificios me gusta bastante. Ha sido como tomando más fotos a los de otra cosa, porque como soy ingeniero civil, me da bastante curiosidad ese tema. Y las clases también son bastante interesantes.
Los profesores, los compañeros, ya tienes amigos, pues
Sí.
¿cómo tomas esas experiencias? Y los clubs, me da mucha curiosidad y sé que no solamente a mí, sino también como a todas las personas que están presentes, acerca de los clubs, de las sociedades, cómo son, cómo funcionan. Sé que es bastante común en las universidades. ¿Qué nos puedes compartir acerca de esto? ¿Qué es lo que más te ha gustado?
Claro. Justo en los eventos que proporcionó la universidad, yo también me inscribí a varios para justo conocer más gente. Y ahí hice varios amigos de la India, de Zimbabue, de Canadá, y también un grupo de latinos también ya nos hemos juntado y a veces salimos de vez en cuando. Respecto a las societies, justo me encontré con una que es para jugar fútbol de manera solo por diversión, no tanto con prácticas. Y ese me gustó bastante, es fútbol mixto. Y otra society también que es High on Life, donde jugamos juegos de mesa, cocinamos de vez en cuando, vemos películas. Ahorita no ha habido muchos eventos, hemos ido a bowling también la semana pasada y son nuevas experiencias que me han ido gustando bastante. Y algo a resaltar es que el LUU, el Student Union, es muy diferente a lo que tenemos al menos en Perú. Por ejemplo, el centro de estudiantes de Perú es chiquito, no tiene un lugar específico, ¿no? En cambio aquí es un edificio completo, hay eventos, está muy bien organizado.
Y cuéntanos cómo son tus clases en este momento. ¿Son presenciales o son en línea? O bueno, ¿cómo son? Sí.
Ahora estoy teniendo modalidad mixta. Algunas clases son presenciales, otras clases son virtuales. Se graban las clases también virtuales, y las presenciales a veces hay una paralela en virtual para los chicos que todavía no están en Leeds y que todavía están en su home country. Y sí ha habido, lo bueno es que hay buena interacción con los profesores, y por ejemplo también lo que me gusta bastante es que te dan confianza para preguntar, ¿no? Desde el inicio de las clases nos dijeron pregunten chicos, sé que a veces vienen de diferentes culturas donde a veces es mal visto preguntar mucho, pero ellos nos dicen que está bien y que preguntemos lo que podamos.
I think there is one question that either Benjamin or Megan can answer, and it's about the COVID regulation. So how's the university dealing with all the COVID things? Is it safe? COVID tests, all of that?
So I can answer that first, and then maybe Benjamin can add a student's perspective. So the university has been doing lots of work since March 2020 to make our campus as safe as possible. Like Benjamin said, classes are now in a hybrid mode. So we have some presential face-to-face classes. Presential is not a word in English, it should be, but it's not a word. We have some face-to-face classes on all of our programs, but some bigger classes are still taking place online for safety. There's been lots of work on campus around ensuring social distancing is happening and making sure that teaching spaces and social spaces are well ventilated. The regulations on mask wearing have just been relaxed, so we now advise students to wear masks in crowded areas, to wear face coverings. International students can get their COVID-19 vaccine in the UK. So we've been encouraging students to get their vaccine by registering with a GP once they arrive here on campus. We have a medical practice right next to the campus. We've also been providing lots of support for students who have to self-isolate. So students either because they've had symptoms of COVID-19 or had a positive test, they can get support through the accommodation teams who will keep in touch with them. They've been delivering food to people who've needed to self-isolate. And we've also provided lots of support for international students who've been arriving. So I don't know if Benjamin, if you used any of these services, but we did pick-up services. We've been picking students up from Leeds Airport, from Manchester Airport, even from Heathrow Airport this year, which is something we've never done before, providing them with boxes with food for their self-isolation. isolation period, information on online shopping, online events so they can chat to people during the isolation. So we've really done a lot of work in this area. And finally, there is a testing centre on campus for students who don't have symptoms of COVID-19. And there's also an NHS, a National Health Service testing centre right next to our campus as well. So lots of work's been going on. I've been on campus for quite a while now, working in my office, and suddenly it feels like life's starting to go back to normal. The students are back, it feels like they're back on campus, and it does kind of feel like normal life is coming back in the UK. So hopefully by next September we won't be talking too much about COVID restrictions. Would you have anything that you would add, Benjamin? Do you feel safe on campus?
Sí, justo como comentabas, Megan, los aforos se cuidan bastante también cuando tenemos clases presenciales. A veces nos dividimos, cuando es un grupo muy grande, se dividen los alumnos en diferentes salones a diferentes horas. También hay bastante alcohol en las instalaciones de la universidad. Y como tú mencionas, te puedes vacunar en el mismo campus. Yo también me he tomado mi primera dosis hace semana y media en la misma universidad. Y eso fue bastante práctico para mí, ¿no?
So I will share with you a last video, and I think this is a sum up. Thank you very much, Megan, for being with us. Benjamín, gracias también por participar. No lo mencioné antes, pero Benjamín llevó la asesoría con Studies Planet y ahora está ya en Leeds. And gracias, Dani, por estar también presente el día de hoy.
Ustedes, gracias.
The future we choose is determined here and now. Think beyond today. Join a world top 100 university on a campus in a city of culture and diversity. Be part of our welcoming and supportive student community, the next generation of Leeds' rich history. And for you, an incredible range of opportunities to make your time with us unique. Life-changing experiences, not just a degree. Start your university journey and come and see what the difference is. Our groundbreaking research is leading the way to solve global challenges, to change how we live and learn. Challenge your thinking. Become an expert in your field. Go out and change the world. Study abroad, travel, volunteer and change lives, or build your work experience and start your career. The perfect place for you to live, learn, and open doors. To prepare for the world ahead, for a future that's yours. The University of Leeds. We are waiting for you.